IBM.
Yeah.
And have you seen that article?
I did. Kia ora. Welcome to Future of Tech. This is a video series we're doing to highlight the unhyped impact of emerging technologies. We'll be discussing the social impact and the business impact that they're having now and into the future. This week we're talking about quantum computing.
Yeah, quantum computing. A bit of a buzzword at the moment, so we're just going to explain what it really is. To start off with though, let's talk about how a normal computer saves information. So, Matt, enlighten us.
Sure. When you think about a normal computer, you're thinking about bits. So you're thinking about data being stored in either a 0 or a 1.
Correct. So it's quite a binary property. In order to sort of talk this through, imagine a bit as a coin. Heads is 1, tails is 0. So we have a combination of heads and tails, and these sequences of numbers represent different things like images, letters, basically everything you see and do on a computer. Qubits are used in quantum computers, and this is a completely different technology. So rather than binary bits of zeros and ones, they have qubits which are in a superposition. So you can imagine that, or like a coin spinning on itself, being a combination of 0 and 1 simultaneously.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean? So when we think about a combination of, say, 4 bits in a normal computer, they can either be 0 or 1 independently. Mm-hmm. That gives us 16 different combinations, 16 different sets, essentially. And if you're wanting to decrypt that, or get all those combinations in a line, you'd have to run 16 different combinations using normal 0, 1 bit states.
Cool.
With a qubit, you're not limited by that. You can run one sequence and do all 16 of those simultaneously.
So there'll be one sequence of 4 qubits. You've got all 16 combinations. That sounds like very powerful, and so I assume when we're thinking about actually code breaking and encryption, what does that mean?
It's a game changer. So the way that we currently encrypt things, like encrypted messages, our banking systems, a lot of privacy aspects to what we do on the web can now be decoded. So that's why Google, IBM, the US, European Union, China, they're investing billions of dollars in what is basically a rat race to invent the first large-scale functioning quantum computer.
No, it's interesting you mentioned countries in there. I can see how this would be very worrying for them.
100%. Well, if you think it's a huge competitive advantage, security-wise, absolutely. But it also opens the possibility of more advanced encryption. So yes, you can decode what we currently use, but it also gives us the possibility of coding or encrypting in a completely different way, which is very exciting for those countries.
Very, very cool. And so, where are we? Where are we at with actually achieving that?
It's still very early days. So to have anything large scale, you'll need to be 1,000 bits plus, or qubits plus. At the moment, safely functioning, you probably have about 50 qubit computers working, and that's simply because the superposition that these qubits are in, although very, very useful, they're also very sensitive to environmental factors like sound or heat, etc. So to actually create the environment for them to be stable and usable, it's quite hard. So we're quite far off. We're talking decades as a time scale before we see anything really, really useful. Although, IBM, have you seen that article?
I did. No?
That was good though! That was conversation! I'm gonna leave this in. Carry on! Anyway, IBM,
Can you tell me about IBM?
have made a quantum computer that's publicly accessible.
Cool.
So people can
I can use it.
Yeah, anyone can. The idea is they want to start people coding and interacting with quantum computers now, early on, because it's going to be such a huge technology in the future. Yeah, so.
Cool. Okay. And what about some of the other uses? One I know in the discussion document that we wrote last week talked about molecular modeling.
Yeah, it did. So I'm still laughing. So the way that computers currently try model molecules and enzymes, etc., is quite limited, simply because it's a lot of data, especially if they want to break it down to the atomic level. And they just don't have the grunt, essentially, to do this sort of calculations. Quantum computers, on the other hand, will give scientists that ability, which is very exciting. So instead of going out and actually sequencing and creating all these individual molecules and then physically testing it, you could, in theory, test that in a digital realm before you create anything.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's very cool. So I can see that would have implications. In new cancer drug research?
100%.
We'll be thinking about antibiotics.
Yeah, all sorts of different therapies. There's a lot of medical uses out there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so what would you say is your biggest takeaway? What's the biggest thing that excites you about?
When it comes to a new technology like this, a new emerging technology, we talk about these applications, but until people actually get the chance to play with this sort of thing, we don't really know. And I think that's what is so exciting to me personally, is the fact that we don't even know what this new technology can give us. I mean, yes, the molecular aspect is very, very exciting, but who knows what else could be out there. This is just the beginning. It's embryonic, essentially, as a technology. So I think that's what gives it a 9 out of 10 on the Arco scale.
That's cool. I've got goosebumps. I think that's actually a perfect time to wrap it up. So thanks guys for tuning in. We're looking forward to our topic next week, which will be all about 5G.
Sweet. See you then.